Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschata Deshatarine Mukam Karvati Vachalam Gum Langayate Grim Yatkripatamam Bande Shri Guru Dinatarinam Hare Krishna. Actually, the offenses number 6, 7, and 8. 6 to give some interpretations on the chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. 7 to commit sinful activities on the strength of the chanting of the holy names. 8 to consider chanting of Hare Krishna one of the auspicious ritualistic activities offered in the Vedas, associative activities, Karma Kanda. They all three of them they have a common notion which comes from one's own interpretations. That means when one feels that he is independent, when one portrays himself that I want this, I want that. For example, I want a big home, big mansion, this and that. These are all mental concoctions in our consciousness. And then on name of this, we uses the word called surrender. I think that, my dear Lord, I will have everything, but still I'll be surrendered. That is not the right notion, actually. We are interpreting various ways. We are not seeing the heart of the acharyas. Prabhupada never said that. I'll have everything and then I'll surrender. No. Those two are contrasting things. We need to understand we are not there. And we should become humble. But we should never proclaim that I'm surrendered. It's very important. Our interpretations is what matters. That is one of the reasons we do not get taste in the holy name, because we are interpreting, stating that I have so many things of these worldly inabilities, have so many material desires, still I will say that I'm surrendered. How is that? The two contrasting. This is also one of the interpretations. So 6 to give some interpretations on the holy names is what? Why we do not get taste to the process, or why we only stay on certain level. The progress is halted because the progress in a sadhaka's life will continue continuously only when he comes out of these things. And what do they even do is 7 to commit sinful activities. That means they commit sinful activities and then again they chant Hare Krishna, thinking that chanting of Hare Krishna will actually help removing those sinful activities. No. That is actually an offense against the holy names. Now, holy names, the words of the acharyas, they purify everything, but we cannot use that as a source to commit sinful activities. For example, if a person atonement and confessing is committed a sinful activity and is confessing that no, I've done a sinful activity. And then again after that, is again repeating the same thing, sinning and atoning, sinning and atoning. When a person continues the process of sinning and atoning, you know what happens? It's like bathing of the elephant. Parikshit Maharaj asked this question to Sukadeva Goswami. Parikshit Maharaj is asking the question, what kind of question is that? Okay, the soul is actually conditioned, bounded in this world. Is actually bounded. Now, how do we know that he's bounded? He has material desires on one side, and on the other side, he wants to do spiritual activities. That is bounded. So, through this binding, what is happening, dear devotees, is there's a there's a friction which goes. And then through that friction, what is happening? He understands that this is a process, but due to weak heart, what is happening is he will also commit sinful activities. And through that friction, he will come to a conclusion that, okay, I will commit sinful activities, but now I'm also chanting Hare Krishna. I'm committing sinful activities, but my chanting of Hare Krishna will help me come out of that. That means I'm using that as a source, which can't be done. Then Sukadeva Goswami explains that if you are committing sin and again you are atoning, confessing, atoning, you're making a mistake, you go and then pray, my dear Lord, please help me. Again you go, again you repeat the same thing. Again you go, again we go and pray. Then what is happening? It's a problem actually. That means the problem is deepened. So a time will come, we commit sinful activities, but we will not even go there. Because what is happening, the consciousness is changing in the background. Because we are taking unwanted association. So when a sadhaka takes unwanted association, you know what happens? When a sadhaka takes unwanted association, he will actually miss the real essence. So this seventh offense is not just that we are committing sinful activities and then chanting Hare Krishna. When we begin committing sinful activities not that you go and kill a person. No, that is also a crime. Sinful activities can be anything which is against the four regulative principles. We should be vigilant. No meat eating, no intoxication, no illicit sex, no gambling. Anything which is against this, and anything which is actually not yielding or not bringing us the faith towards that process is also an activity which we should avoid, because that will eventually lead to another sinful activity. That is the core reason why our acharyas tell that one should be very vigilant in what we are seeing, what we are doing, what we are hearing, what we are understanding, and what we are actually doing. Our actions. Our actions means a lot actually. But our actions should be driven from a higher authority. Now I'll tell, yesterday we were discussing about this important aspect that karmanyavadikarasya mapaleshu kadachan. Now how this can be a solution to come out of this interpretations, to come out of these sinful tendencies. How is this? Srila Prabhupada very mercifully gives three options. To do a work, it has three ways. One is prescribed duties, capricious work, and inaction. Please understand this. It's very important. What is the first one? Prescribed duties. What is the second one? Capricious work. What is the third one? Inaction. What is a prescribed duty? Prescribed duty is what? Let's say you go and work as a software engineer. Is that a prescribed duty? For us today, that is our prescribed duty. But that prescribed duty also has results. For example, if I go and work in a company, it's a karma. It's an action. For that action, we get a response to that. We get another action because it's an action. Every action has another reaction, right? So a person goes and then works in the office. That is a prescribed duty. But that prescribed duty is coming how? Through his nature. Because he is associating or he has worked on that. After working on it, he got that result. And then through that result, he is generating some fruits. You go to office, you work for 1 month, they give a salary at the end of the result. The salary is what? That's the fruit. In this material world, nobody works without any fruit, without any result. Nobody will work in this world. Everyone will work for some kind of result. Now, what kind of result he is working? That is how one will actually detach himself from this world or becomes too attached to this world. Because detachment only comes when he knows what is a real attachment. Otherwise, detachment from this world will not come. Because prescribed duty is what? It's an action. It's a karma. Right? So this prescribed action, like we have Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. These are four varnas and four ashramas: Brahmacharya, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, and Sannyas. These are all four varnas and four ashramas. They also have prescribed duties. And even all these four varnas and four ashramas, they also get results. So they also do so many things. For example, one person is a doctor, one person is an engineer, one person is a teacher, one person is a businessman, one person is a sweeper. So many prescribed duties according to their nature. But the thing is, when this nature is in alliance with the scriptures, then that prescribed duty makes sense. Makes sense in the sense the prescribed duty will get a tangible result. For example, if I work, if I aspire to work for the pleasure of the Lord, then that is another level. For example, if I work, for example, today we are working for our family, we are working for ourselves. It's quite natural, everybody does that. That is one level. But for this one level, we get one kind of result. And whoever thinks that this prescribed duty, he is doing this prescribed duty, then he will get that results. Please understand this. This is important because the moment, for example, if I'm working as a software engineer, if I think that I am the source for that, obviously when I'm the source for that, I'll use that whatever fruits which are coming for myself. For example, the Lakshmi which is coming, that I'll be using it for myself. Then what happens is the moment I begin using it for myself, then it leads to bondage. Please understand this. This is how interpretations will work. Even after coming to the process, even after knowing the process, even after understanding why there's so many people, they give up everything. There's a reason for that. It's not like they just give up like that. For everything, there's a reason and logic. For example, if the moment I begin interpreting that this is mine, that is a source of karma bandhana. Please understand this. This is a core reason why we actually suffered in this world. Not that Krishna is very harsh towards us. No, he's not harsh. He's actually just teaching a lesson. If we are little inquisitive from this angle, then it actually everything which is happening in our life will make sense. Because the prescription, for example, go to the doctor, he gives a prescription. If you are taking that medicine as per his instruction, as per his guidance, then the disease is cured. As simple as that. Like what Srila Prabhupada is telling us here, when we abide those prescribed duties by working for Krishna, that becomes yoga. Up until that point of time, that is only a karmic reaction. That means, for example, you take care of your family nicely, you take care of this, that, so nicely. You get a punya. You're taking care of your wife very nicely. You're doing your duty nicely as a husband. You get punya. For that punya, you go to heavenly planets. It will not yield Goloka. The punya will only yield heavenly planets. For example, if you are beating up your wife, or if you have quarrels, you're not taking care of the children nicely. What is that? That is papa. For papa, where do we go? We go to hellish planets. Or we get another body here and then we get similar reactions for that. For example, we beat our wife. And then she'll become a husband and she'll beat us. As simple as that. Pretty straightforward. So what is the material nature is doing is material nature is teaching us some lessons. And here we are sitting, we are trying to figure out those lessons. We are trying to do best out of it, so that we are away from this implications of interpretations. Everyone has their own interpretation in this world. But the real essence one will get is when one follows the words of the Lord. Lord personally is telling, Krishna is personally telling, Karmanyavadikaresam apalesu kadachan. You just do your work, but don't be attached to the results. That's heavy actually. The people who are attached to what they are doing, now Krishna is telling them, telling all of us, that become detached from that. How does one becomes detached from that? The work has to be done for the pleasure of the Lord. That is a source of attachment. Because unless and until this is established, that's why we focus more on these things, dear devotees. Otherwise, कुछ होने वाला नहीं है इधर. समझ लो कुछ होने वाला नहीं है. Things will not shape up unless and until we come to this state. We will not realize what this process is actually. Do we have to leave this body without even realizing everything? I always think about this. Do I have to leave this body without even understanding? Forget about following. Understanding. Without even understanding these intricacies. Now, this is a core reason why it has been told us, forget doing interpretations. Just do it. Just do what the acharyas are telling. Leave this interpretation. Why this interpretation? These interpretations do not help us anything. They are not going to take us anywhere. They will keep us here only. That is the reason why we couldn't follow those teachings on a deeper level, because we have our own implications, our own interpret. We interpret. We understand the truth. For example, I'll tell something. You're wearing red glasses. Wearing red glasses, you see outside. Do you see everything red? Obviously. The moment you remove the glasses, how do you see? In its natural state, you see. We see in the natural state. So likewise, when the words of the acharyas are not taken as is, when we have a film in front of us, when we have a thick layer in front of us, then what happens is the truth is taken through that layer. Rather, the truth is not taken as is. The moment we take the truth through that layer, we interpret ourselves that we are at the level of surrender. Because I'm there because I'm there in the moment for 20 years or 30 years, and then we proclaim that I'm surrendered. But technically, surrender is, we know the sloka also, Sarvadharman Parityajat Mamekam Sharanam Raham Tam Sara. What is Krishna telling? You give up everything and then work for me. That is heavy. That is a difficult thing. But how do I even come to that state? Slowly, one by one. We cannot immediately go to 10th grade. A first class child, will he immediately goes to 10th grade? No, he cannot go to the 10th grade. He has to go to 2nd grade, 3rd grade, 4th grade, 5th grade, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th. Eventually he'll come to 10th. Likewise, surrender is also step-by-step process. We cannot become surrendered. Just like we cannot leave the interpretation just like that. But when we begin thinking about them, what am I doing? What am I really perceiving? The festivals are coming. Radhashtami is also coming. Janmashtami completed. Prabhupada Appearance Day completed. Radhashtami will come. And then all the other festivals will follow. Kartik will come. Chaturmasya began. Now Kartik will come. But what is my state of consciousness for all these festivals? How am I taking this? So likewise, coming back to the prescribed duties, when it is done simply for the pleasure of the Lord, then that prescribed duty will make that action will become yoga. That means your going to office will become a yoga, because what are you doing? You're going to office for the pleasure of the Lord. Because at least I'm not there at 50%, but let me, my dear Lord, at least I do 5%. At least I don't know, I'm not there. At least let me use this in the service of the Lord. Lord gave me everything. At least let me begin somewhere. This is the hope. Because what are we doing? We are now putting an action. We are putting a step towards all. And Krishna says, you put a step, I'll reciprocate. Just like Srila Prabhupada, he simply began through small storefront where he was doing business in India. It's a very small store where he was making some medicines. Slowly, he was trying to do. And then his intention was the output or the results which are coming through this business, I will use in the service of Guru and Krishna. That was his intention. Because he knows. He tells his spiritual master, dear spiritual master, I cannot do great services just like your sannyasi disciples. Please tell me, is there any service for me? And then his spiritual master tells you, preach in English language. That is the main service. But he was also helping the Gaudiya Math by giving donation to them. No, that was not being personally being told by his spiritual master, but he understood. Just like a child who is who loves his parents, he understands. He understands what my parents want. He understands their heart. Then what he will do? He will reciprocate in that way. So likewise, that is a prescribed duty, dear devotees. And the Brahmana has a prescribed duty of what? Studying the scriptures, understanding them, teaching them. What is the duty of a Kshatriya? He rules the kingdom. The Vaishya, who's a businessman, he does. And the Shudra is like serving the other three. So everyone has the process. But one thing is common in all of them is everyone is doing for the pleasure of Guru and Krishna. Now their nature might be different. Their swabhava, their nature might be different, but all of these personalities are doing for the pleasure of the Lord. Because Lord is the source of everything. He is a supreme master. He is a supreme proprietor. He is a moola. He is a source for everyone. Now when one understands that, then that is when his devotion will begin. That means now we are doing it. Definitely we are doing it. But we should aspire for more. So likewise, this is one level. What is the other one is capricious work. Capricious work is the work which is all the offenses which we are discussing. The 10 offenses is the capricious work. Capricious work means we are working, but without the sanction of the authority. That is a period. Prabhupada says, the work which is done without the sanction of the authority is a capricious work. Very beautiful actually. Where Srila Prabhupada is actually expressing his heart. Because that is his nature. He doesn't do anything. He does everything which is in alliance with the authority. He doesn't do anything which is not in alliance with authority. The moment a sadhaka comes to this plane, his mind will not disturb him. For sure. The mind will not disturb him because at every moment is trying to please the authority. Capricious work means what? doing something which is against the authority, against the authoritative source. That means against Guru Sadhu Shastra. That is capricious work. And then the moment we do capricious work, what happens? Reactions will come. We'll have family problems, health problems, this problem, that problem, financial problem, mental problem, depressed, sad, morose. What are all these things? The moment we begin doing capricious activity, capricious work, then what happens? We get a reaction. These are all interpretations. Now, why a person will do a capricious work? Because he's thinking that this is correct. Nobody's up. No one thinks that he wants an authority, but he's always proclaiming himself that he himself is the authority, which is another state of illusion, which leads to interpretations. All these I interpretations, illusion, they all begin with I. So these things we need to understand. So through this capricious work, what is happening is, through the capricious work, one heart is not satisfied. And he is dejected in the process. It's totally dejected. If you see, Haridas Thakur Maharaj is chanting 192 rounds every day. It's pleasing the authority, pleasing Lord Chaitanya through his service. Almost he chants for like 18-20 hours every day. And then the rest of the time he sleeps and also he preaches. But this person, a prostitute will come to him. We all know the story. The prostitute will come to him. It's an arrangement. One person will send that prostitute to disturb him and then show to the entire world that, oh, this person is only a namesake devotee, not a real devotee. And then that she comes. She provokes him. You are young, I am young. Let us have some fun. She provokes. He says, wait. I have to chant. You also sit. Yes, I understand your proposal, but I have few rounds to do. You sit with me. All night he was chanting. So when the mind says something us to do, which is capricious work, we need to postpone that mind just like Haridas Thakur postponed it. He's telling the material nature, he's telling the girl, just stop. Hold on, we'll do it after some time. Then morning comes, then she leaves. Again she comes the next day. Again he repeats the same thing. Yes, we will. Today we will do. But you sit. Because I have some rounds to finish. Because I promised that I'll be chanting this number of rounds. I cannot miss that. I know this is also important, but I have some higher service. Again, she stayed. Just by staying there for a few days, her heart got transformed. She changed. Now, what is he doing? He's postponing. He's not completely rejecting. Likewise, we should postpone our mind. Mind is like a child. We should just postpone. We're feeling sleepy. We should tell the mind, don't worry. After some time, you can sleep. Postpone. We should postpone. It doesn't ask for details or why this, why that. Just we have to tell. We should just postpone. When we do that, slowly, slowly, we become more strong internally. Our heart becomes strong. Then we will leave these interpretations. And there is no question of committing sinful activities, which is the seventh offense. You cannot use the names. We cannot say that I will chant and I will also engage in sinful activities. No. It has to be completely carved out. Even at the thought level, also, we shouldn't think ill about others. Not to speak of putting in action. At the thought level, also, we shouldn't think ill about anyone in this world. Because already, through our actions in this world, we're getting so many reactions. We don't want to create new things. We want to clean up what we have. This we need to. This we need to do it. Very important. Because to stop an action, we need to do another action. This led to the question of Parikshit Maharaj asking Sukadeva Goswami. Now the soul is very, very powerful. How come the soul has fallen into this? How come the soul has fallen into this? Which is very powerful, powerful than this material nature. How is this affected to the material nature? Through this. It wants to stay away from the Lord. Likewise, our mind, if you see, it doesn't get happiness or taste to relish the holy names. Okay, it wants to stay away. The moment we hold the bills, it will think about so many other things. Why? Because it is not absorbed in that. The moment we begin trying to hear, try to understand, the mind will not be focused on that. It want to see so many other glaring effulgence of this world, which is another problem. So we need to understand that there is a lot of work to be done internally. We need to check our heart. There's so many things to be done. And we need to consciously try to come out of these interpretations. When the interpretations are not there, we do not think something all of a sudden which is against Guru Sadhu Shastra. Because we are not interpreting. We are taking it as is. Then the sinful tendencies will not affect us. We will not do those. The prescribed duties can be done in many ways. But one way which is pleasing the Lord is for His happiness. When we begin doing it for His happiness. Karma will only become karma yoga when it is connected to the Lord. Otherwise, the karma will remain karma. And that karma will give another karma. But when that karma is connected to yoga, that karma will yield to eternal happiness. And obviously, as that yoga is done for yoga means what? Done doing it for the pleasure of the Lord. The moment it is done, that karma, the action is done for the pleasure of the Lord. Then what is happening is all the that in that also there is reaction. What is happening? The previous karmas are taken away. But the same karma, if it is done for ourselves, that is a cause of bondage. So this we need to understand more. The more we understand, we can actually see if there are really problems coming in our life. We can see it as a blessing of the Lord. Because it is only me. It is me. I am the source for that. No one else. No one else. Nobody is a problem. No one is a problem in this world. We always say that children are problem, husband is problem. No. And then that doesn't mean that we become dejected or become depressed. No, 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 no. That is tamoguna. When we understand we are the problem, when we are in goodness, we actually work on it and quickly come out of that. People will get a lot of problems, but who is the sadhu? He will also get problems, but what is he? What is his nature? He will immediately come out of that. He's not worried, oh, why this problem came, why this problem came, why this mosquito bit me because I got now some disease. Why this mosquito? Why not him? Or why only this? Why only that? He's not thinking. He's not interpreting. The other is accepting. That I has to be transformed to A. Interpretation should be transformed to acceptance. My dear Lord, thank you. I don't deserve anything, but you are giving everything. Thank you. By saying that, I also want to conclude. Thank you for the opportunity. It is the process of Krishna consciousness is very special. So every day we kind of shook our we will shake our consciousness to see that what is right, what is real, what is essence, that we try to digest in more and more. Hare Krishna. We have to stop here. If anyone has anything to add, quickly add. We will conclude. Any questions? Anyone would like to add anything? Any comments?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam, dear devotees, Prabhupada. Prabhuji, I'd just like to add something. I was just contemplating this morning. By the way, I'm out of the hospital thanks to the prayers of all devotees and everyone. I'm doing much better. I just wanted to add, Prabhuji, that,
Please.
I've been living in Tampa for maybe 30, 35 years. I'm probably one of the oldest devotee here. And it was my yearning since the time I moved here to get, together with devotees, with like-minded devotees and Krishna consciousness and all that. And so what I'm trying to say is that I'm so grateful that this morning I'm thinking and I was discussing with Mohini Mataji how what an opportunity that we have to listen to such positive vibrations to help us to be better devotees. Yeah, all the years we have been chanting and we've been doing whatever we thought was right. But to some point, this is not 100% correct. And by you intervening and helping us, it's helping us to shape our devotion in direction that there will be positive growth. So I'm forever grateful to you and all the devotees in Tampa as well for us having this. And my prayers was really answered. Probably over the years, been trying very hard to get Krishna consciousness ISKCON going in Tampa, and it's my dream come true, and very happy with the outcome. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for your wonderful service. Thank you, Vamsi Vilas Prabhuji, and all wonderful devotees. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Thank you for your heartfelt reciprocation. It is a mercy of Guru and Krishna where we are connected and binded. So we should always remember them. They are our source. They are our life and soul. And really appreciate. Please take care of your health. Please start to think like this only. Contemplate more and more. Please think, what are we discussing? What are we hearing? What can be done? What more can be done? How can we chant? How can we, take this truth more? Because the body is always like this. Body always has some problems. Today you are getting problem. Tomorrow we will get the problem. So the more the body deteriorates, that's how it reacts. But in that circumstances also, when we are thinking about our spiritual master, when we are thinking about the Lord, when we are thinking what Srila Prabhupada has done, what kind of troubles he has taken. He also has similar body. He actually came at this moment to US. Just imagine how much bodily discomforts he has taken care. So the more we think about them, then we come out of our bodily consciousness and we'll be absorbed more and more. in the absolute truth. And then that is the way, actually. That is the only way. Because we are a conscious being. No matter our body is working or not working, the consciousness will always work. That means what we are contemplating, and just like as you shared that example, what we are contemplating is what matters. Because that is what we remember. Antakale smaran mukta kalivanam. Whatever we remember at the time of that, we get that. So to come to that state, we should practice contemplation. We should go more and more. For this, acceptance should come, which we are getting through the process of Shravana and Kirtana. Acceptance will come to the heart, but more it has to happen. And the more we think, the more we understand, the more we will relish. And then you can just open Bhagavatam and then just begin reading. Then think about that. And whatever time we have to just use it to the best of our ability. Then we make a lot of progress through that.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you all very much. Srila Prabhupada Maharaj ki jai. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhupada. Thank you so very much for the message. I just want to reflect. You did mention that the process has to be taken slowly, one step at a time, not like jumping in, but within that, slowly in the sense, diligently, sincerely, hear the message and try to apply. Then only we can see progress day by day. But if you're not listening and take it slowly, listening in the sense not just listening, but that's the first step. But attempting to have it applied in our day-to-day activities. So thank you so very much, Prabhu.
Actually, application comes when we comes to the state of acceptance, which is varana. After Shravana, varana has to happen. When interpretations are not there, varana will not come. That means if I have some layers, then the varna will not come. When varna is not there, smarana will not come. So they're all connected. A point of time in our life, we should understand that acceptance, varana, has to be established. When that is established, then there is a progress. Hare Krishna. We cannot just say that, oh, I'm surrendered. No. Should give the details. What do you mean by surrender? What is your surrender? What is our surrender? We should give those details. We cannot just proclaim that. Just like a rabbit, then when it is fearful, it will just close his eyes. That doesn't mean that rabbit will not be killed. So the process is that. And today, tomorrow, this life, next life, someday it has to begin. But that we need to aspire more and more. Because these are the designs which we are expressing in front of the Lord. That makes sense. Hare Krishna. Thank you all very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Srila Thank you for the wonderful lecture, Boji, and thank you for the wonderful Bhajan Vamsi Vilas Boji. I will now recite the Prem Devani.
Thank you very much, Mataji, for your